Good morning, Real Life Christian Schools. I hope you guys had a great weekend. We are only a couple weeks away from Easter break, and we're going to get 10 days off there. But before then, we still have a few things to focus on before we get to Easter break. This is actually the last scripture verse that we're going to memorize before Easter break. So let's focus in on this. Let's make sure we do real well on this week. Not only memorizing the words, but understanding its meaning as well. So let's just dive right into the verse right now. We are in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verses 12 and 13. This is what it says. Dear brothers and sisters, honor those who are your leaders in the Lord's work. They work hard among you and give you spiritual guidance. Show them great respect and wholehearted love because of their work. And live peacefully with each other. All right, just a little bit of background. First of all, Paul is writing to the people in Thessalonica. It's a city of about 200,000 people, so twice as big as the city of Fairfield. 200,000 people. It's a large city in the ancient world. And Paul, Silas, and Timothy visited this city when they were on one of their missionary journeys. And the people of the city, they worship everything. All the Greek and Roman gods, they're just all over the place. And so Paul, Silas, Timothy, they're going there and they're spreading the gospel. They're telling people the good news about Jesus Christ, and there are a lot of converts to Christianity. So things are going well. Paul and Silas and Timothy, they eventually leave, but Paul is writing the church in Thessalonica, and he's telling them various things. And there are lots of things that Paul tells the church there. But anytime you're reading a letter or a paper or a report or something, you're going to know what the most important thing is when you read the introduction and the conclusion. Right? That's where you should, in the beginning, in the introduction, kind of introducing everything you're talking about. In the conclusion, wrapping things up. Well, these verses today that we're talking about, this is the beginning of Paul's conclusion. Verse 12 is the beginning where he starts to wrap things up. So as we look at this conclusion, these must be important things. And there are a lot of things we can talk about in these two verses. The one thing I'm going to focus on today is honor. What does it mean to honor somebody? Because in our society today, I don't think we really know what it is to honor someone. We've gotten really far away from that. Especially in young people today. I don't see much honor being shown from young people to other people very much at all. There are a few reasons for that. One is technology. We learn a lot from technology today. In fact, kids learn a lot about technology that their parents never even had to learn because technology has changed over the last 10 to 20 years. And because of that sense of, I know more than my parents about this, some young people get this kind of pride in their spirit where they don't want to honor their father and mother. That's a huge mistake. First of all, because they are respecting knowledge more than wisdom, and the Bible always places wisdom above knowledge. And so that's an issue that as young people, most young people have to deal with in some way or another. In addition, a long time ago, you learned everything from your parents. Today, you learn a lot not from your parents, but from teachers, sometimes from the internet, from all sorts of sources. And so parents, in the eyes of some young people, have been deemed less important. Because of that, they tend to not honor their father and mother. In addition, in our society today, family values have eroded considerably. And because of that, well, again, we don't tend to honor our father and mother, like the 5th commandment tells us to. There are 10 commandments. The first 4 deal with our relationship with God. The next 6 deal with our relationships with other people. And the first of those 6 is to honor your father and mother. If you don't learn how to honor your father and mother, then you honestly do not know how to honor other people, and you definitely do not know how to honor God. It's important that as young people we learn how to honor our father and mother, because it'll affect the rest of our life and the relationships for the rest of our life. Now, to honor someone means to hold them in high regard. And so there are a few P words that I'm going to throw out here about honor. And the first one is honor is personal. And by that I mean it has to do with a person. We honor people, we don't honor things. So in the first regard, it has to be personal. We're honoring someone else. The next thing is honor is preferential, which means we're showing high respect to someone. And we're actually, in our eyes, that person is elevated in our eyes when we are showing them honor. That person is very important to us. The third P is positional. Many times, we might not even know the person, but if a person has a title or position, we need to honor that person. Many times we will know the person, whether it's our parents, right? They have the position of father or mother. Because of their position, we must honor them. The pastor of our church, because of their position, we must honor them. The Bible actually says in several places, including in Romans, that we should honor all men, hold others in high regard, higher than ourselves. So In many cases, we need to honor everyone. In our scripture verse this week, it's specifically talking about those who do the Lord's work. We need to honor them and make sure we give them the highest level of respect. But we have to understand honor first. The other thing about honor is that it's public. That's the last P I'm going to give you. Honoring someone is public. It's not something you do in private. It's not something you do under your breath or privately with other people. You honor someone publicly, which means it takes an active effort to do that. You have to tell other people how important this other person is in your life. By the way, you may not realize this, but in the Old Testament, even punishment sometimes was public. For example, in the book of Deuteronomy, it actually says if parents have stubborn and rebellious children, they're supposed to take them before the elders in the city gates, and they're supposed to punish them in front of everyone. Could you imagine if you were a stubborn and rebellious child, your parents take you to church, take you up in front of everyone, and spanked you in front of everyone at church? The Bible actually calls for public punishment at times. Likewise, when we honor someone, that's showing disrespect, and we're supposed to be publicly punished. But when we honor someone, that should also be public. To really honor someone is to tell others how great these other people are. And whether it be our pastor, whether it's our parents, whether it's your teachers, whether it's anyone in your life that shows some sort of spiritual guidance in your life, according to these verses, we should show them honor. The highest level of respect we possibly can. So I want you guys to focus on that this week. Like I said, there's a lot more to unpack in these verses. Hopefully we'll be talking about them in your devotions every day in class this week, and hopefully we'll hear about it more on Friday as well in chapel. But think about what it means to honor someone. It's more than obedience. Obedience is important, don't get me wrong. Obedience is important, but it's more than obedience. Honoring someone is giving them the highest level of respect, not talking badly about them, even behind their back. Because as soon as you talk badly about someone behind their back, it now discredits anything you may have done to honor them. But honoring is always public, holding that person as more important than yourself, and treating that person with extreme respect, the highest level of respect. Okay, like I said, we'll talk about it more throughout the week. I hope to see you guys real soon. Have a great week. God bless.